What are you doing here? I work here, remember?
We thought you were taking time off to look after your mother.
There's no need. I mean, she's coping really well.
PJ, you've got plenty of time due. Why don't you use it?
Boss, there is no need. She's coping well. Besides, I've got to work on the Simmons brief.
No, you don't. I finished it off and submitted it late yesterday afternoon.
Thanks.
We thought you were taking leave.
Well, I'm not.
Hey, come on. None of that. You're supposed to be resting.
I'm incurable, Ben. Not helpless. Not yet, anyway.
Yes, I know that, but the doctor said that
The
you're just supposed
doctor
to be
said
taking
I
it
should
easy.
maintain my quality of life as long as I am able, and I'm still able.
Okay, point taken. Would you consider having a small break? I happen to have made some herbal tea, if you'd like.
What? For my health? Heavens, no. I want coffee.
Hey guys, you in the news?
What news?
Peach.
Don't you start. What news?
There's been a death in St David's prison.
Well, not just any old death, Kevin Leslie.
Kevin Leslie? Yeah, he was a child kidnapping case years ago. He spent months on the front pages.
Ah, kid disappeared, he got life.
Yeah, I remember seeing on the news when I was a kid. I used to have nightmares about that guy.
How'd he die?
Well, I didn't say, but homicide's on the way.
Yeah?
What are you doing?
Can I have a sticky?
Joe?
No.
Make up your mind.
Joe.
Come on, Joe.
I know what you're going to say, okay?
Do you?
It's a classic case of denial. Once I get him to admit that, he'll be fine.
I am not in denial.
Yes, you are. You're in denial about being in denial.
Joanna?
Yeah?
Shut up. Hey, Cuddles.
G'day, PJ. You join the homies now?
No, not quite, mate. This is Joe Parrish.
G'day, good to meet you, Joe. Well, come in.
Cuddles?
Andy Cudmore. Stay in the background. Hey, Paul.
Oh, don't tell me. You thought you could help.
Maybe. I worked on the original kidnapping case.
You're older than you look.
No, I was just a young Connie, but I was there when the arrest was made.
All right. You recognise him?
Well, he's aged.
Yeah, 15 years in jail will do that for you.
How'd he die?
Electrocuted. In charge of the lights, would you believe, for this drama group. That one there. Okay, lower them in, thanks. Nice and gentle. He's having a technical go-through.
Rehearsal.
A technical rehearsal. Director, guy over there with the beard, he asks him to adjust the spot, whatever that is. Climbs up the ladder.
The metal ladder.
Sorry?
Well, it should have been wood or fiberglass. Electricians aren't supposed to use metal ladders.
He climbs up, grabs the light, falls down dead.
So, it was an accident.
Chances are it was an accident, but you know how prisons are. We'll have forensic look at the light anyway.
All right. I'd like to know about the results.
Yeah, we'll keep you informed.
Beach, look at this. The wires have been crossed. The live's on the earth wire, and the earth wire's been disconnected.
Oh, you're a regular little expert, aren't you?
Good riddance, baby. GRB. That's what Dad taught me. Green, red, black. That's how it's supposed to go, and it doesn't.
But what do you mean? Are you saying that the light has been sabotaged?
Doesn't look like this death was an accident. I mean, what's his problem? We're only trying to help.
Well, homicide doesn't always appreciate help. And you do have a big mouth.
Oh, me?
Are they St David's pies?
Oh, yeah, best pies this side of Horsham.
PJ, Ben called for you.
What did he say? Is everything all right?
Yeah, nothing. It was just, he just wanted to know whether you were coming home for lunch.
Well, it would appear not.
Bloody Ben, I wish he'd mind his own business.
Someone's not happy.
Transferred anger.
So he's moved on from denial.
Well, not exactly. He's looking for something to take his mind off the situation. Can't say I blame him.
PJ?
Hello?
Not calling Ben?
You noticed?
What are you doing?
I've got some old notebooks when I worked on the Kevin Leslie case back then.
I thought homicide didn't want your help.
You know, there was always something sus about that case. Now this.
It's sus that a child kidnapper gets killed in prison.
What? And his peers wait 16 years to do it? I mean, why now? That's the question.
Yeah, but it's not your question. Homicide are on the case, and even if they weren't, St David's prison isn't strictly our turf.
Shouldn't I be curious?
You got other things to worry about. Please go home and be with your mother. If there's anything urgent or outstanding, I'll take care of it, or I'll pass it on.
It's not that simple.
Yes, it is. It's exactly that simple. There is nothing stopping you from going out that door and going home right now.
I'm going to have to tidy this up first.
I'll get Joe to give you a hand.
So it's a process of physical, emotional, social and cognitive reactions to loss. Or, in your case, the threat of loss.
Mate, what are you on about?
There's stages of grief. Stage 1 is shock and denial. And stage 2...
You know Kevin Leslie, he found God. He became a model prisoner.
What?
Yeah, when I knew him, he was just a dumb ox with a drinking problem and a nasty temper.
Well, anger, that's stage 2, actually, which is...
You know, the
perfect
question
for him.
is, how could a good Christian like that end up riling somebody enough to get topped?
Well, not everyone likes Christians.
Motive. That's what's missing, a motive. How long do you think it'd take to switch those wires, Joe?
Someone who knew what they were doing could have been under a minute.
So the prison rec room was open all the previous day.
What, they don't lock it?
Not during the day, so anybody could have done it. So what we need is a motive.
What homicide needs is a motive.
You know what the trouble is? They don't have the background.
Who doesn't? Paul Donald.
Well, believe it or not, 15 years ago, I was a young Connie with a big mouth just like you.
Watch it.
And I was stationed at Russell Street. The Kevin Leslie case was the first big case I worked on. And all of a sudden, it was tied up in a neat bow.
Because they caught the guy.
And the kid was dead. You know, and I thought it was sus then. I still think it's sus now.
Why?
Are you starting to get interested?
Off home then?
No, come for a drive.
I'll just get my stuff.
Hurry up.
What's going on?
Please just show me something.
You're supposed to be helping him get him home.
Yeah, I'm working on that. So this is the place where Kevin Leslie actually murdered that poor little boy?
Yeah. Tristan Kerr, who was 2.5 years old. Snatched from a daycare centre in November '85. Every available copper was involved in that search.
There was a ransom note or something, wasn't there?
Yeah. Well, the mother was loaded. She handed over $500,000.
How'd they finally nail this Kevin Leslie one?
Some of the cash was marked. They caught Leslie trying to spend some of it. When we found out he owned this bit of land, did an entire search. Oh, there was a mattress in there. It had some of the boy's blood on it. Over here. We found the remains of a fire here. And there was a fragment of cloth that the mother identified belonging to the boy. It was like a yellow sweatshirt. Had some of his blood on it.
But they never found a body.
No. I mean, we did an entire search of the area. Even dragged the river. Nothing.
Looks like we're not the only visitors recently. It's time markers.
Probably fishermen. Come on, Joe.
So what was so sus about the case? The lack of a body?
It wasn't that. It was just catching Kevin Leslie was too easy.
What do you mean, like he was set up?
I don't know. I mean, the witness who reported the marked money, he was a crim called Brad Charles, right? Now, he gave this spot-on description, but he shot through before the trial.
Didn't give evidence.
Well, it wasn't necessary. Kevin Leslie pleaded guilty in the end. Said he got blind drunk, didn't remember killing the kid or disposing of the body. He's full of remorse.
So where to now?
Well, the kidnapped boy's mother's got a farm out towards Dalesford, I thought.
You're not going to go home today, are you?
What good will that do, Joe?
Heard the news about Kevin Leslie. I'm celebrating in my own quiet way.
Mrs. Kerr, I understand how you must feel.
Do you? He killed my only child, Detective.
I worked on your son's kidnapping. Well, I drove you home a couple of times.
Then you have some idea. I hope his death wasn't swift and painless.
Did you or your husband have any dealings with Kevin Leslie after his conviction?
I certainly haven't. If you can find John, my ex-husband, you can ask him yourself.
We believe Kevin Leslie's death in jail this morning was a homicide.
You suspect me?
No.
God knows I've wanted him dead long enough.
Mrs. Kerr, do you recall the name Brad Charles?
Yes, he was the one who helped you catch that animal.
Have you had any dealings with him at all?
No, why do you ask?
We're just making inquiries.
Trying to find a motive.
Well, perhaps you should suspect me after all. I've got the best motive in the world.
There's nothing as fierce as a mother's love.
Cassie, you're home.
Hey, Mum. How you feeling?
Never better. How's your day at work?
Busy. I'm sorry to make it home for lunch, Mum, but I had to get to St. David's.
I understand.
No, mate. Helena, it's time for your medication.
Thank you, Benjamin. Your mother, the drug addict.
Yeah, sure, Mum.
PJ, have a word. You went to work.
I know what I'm doing.
And what are you doing?
Allowing my mother to believe that life goes on as normal.
Yeah, but it doesn't, does it?
Ben, she's happy.
PJ,
I still work here.
still not your case.
Found my old notebooks from '85.
Right, which is presumably why you're tying up one of my constables in a useless investigation.
Do you have something better for her to do?
That's not the point.
Bingo. You're right about that Brad Charles.
She's currently serving time.
At St. David's, no less, and according to internal records, is a member of the prison drama group.
Sorry, mate. Bradley Edward Charles is no longer with us.
What, he's dead?
He was released on parole yesterday.
Before or after Kevin Leslie's death?
A couple of hours before.
But he still could have set it up.
So where do we find him?
Try his parole officer.
I'm trying to get my life back together and this isn't helping.
It's a nice rental. Where would a crook like you get cash for this sort of property?
Yeah, well, the agent's not going to give it to me now, and I'd have seen you lot drag me off.
Now, you were a key witness in the Kevin Leslie kidnap case, weren't you?
That's right.
And you shot through before the trial.
Is that what this is all about? You're going to throw some technicality at me
No, I'm
after
sure
all
you had a good reason.
Oh, I did. Important business, interstate.
Huh?
Anyway, without me, you lot would never have caught that child murdering scum.
I take it you weren't very fond of Mr. Leslie.
What sort of a bastard does that to a little kid, eh?
How'd you get along with him in prison?
Didn't have much to do with him.
Are you aware that he was electrocuted yesterday morning?
Yes, I hear. It was after I was released.
Well, the actual death, yeah. But it could have been set up while you were still there.
He's suggesting I had something to do with it.
You hated his guts.
Oh, get real. If I'd have felt that strongly, I would have topped him 3 years ago when I first got to St.
Don't
David's.
you think that it's a bit of a coincidence that the day that you're released, Kevin Leslie gets electrocuted.
I had nothing to do with it, all right?
I put it to you that you're in the same drama group as Kevin Leslie, had access to the rec room, and plenty of opportunity to set up his murder.
Nah, I didn't. And I can prove it.
Okay.
Well, they saddled me with this new young bloke. I had to show him around. I was with him all day.
No?
Harley Wilkes. You can ask him if you like.
They put me in this cell, right, and I didn't know which way was up, you know?
You've never been in prison before, I take it?
No. But the head screw that said that Brad could show me the ropes, so I stuck to him like glue.
All day?
Yeah, for protection. I've heard what can happen to a new bloke.
Did Brad ever go in the rec room in that time?
No.
He didn't ever go there?
No.
Did he ever leave you?
No way, no. I wasn't letting him out of my sight. This place is full of dirtbags.
What happened the next day?
Well, in the morning, Brad was released, so I went to the front office and said goodbye, and then went to meet my new cellmate.
Harley, did you ever go in the rec room?
No. But I heard about that guy Frying. What a buzz, eh?
So much for the past.
What?
Well, this clearly has nothing to do with the old kidnapping. It's just a typical prison homicide, and you don't have to have anything to do with it.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, Paige, you can drop it now. Take some time off. Be with your mum.
If you don't trust my instincts, feel free to get off the case, but I'm not giving up. I know there's some link between the kidnapping and Kevin Leslie's murder.
PJ, prisoners get killed in jail for any number of reasons.
In the heat of the moment, yes, but this was calculated.
Someone planned this. They set up the light knowing Kevin Leslie would touch it.
Still could have been a jail motive.
Which homicide are no doubt checking as we speak.
How?
Well, I don't know, by the usual means, I suppose.
Now, how could he know that Kevin Leslie would touch it?
Because he was the lighting guy.
No. But he'd have to touch the light while it was on.
Meaning?
Who would have ordered him to touch the live light?
The guy directing the play, the drama coach.
Does he have a name? Mate.
Please.
John Bramble. Why?
Well, hasn't occurred to
But
you?
he could have been responsible. Yes, it has. We're not complete idiots.
And?
He's harmless. Some ratbag do-gooder volunteer who thinks he's Laurence Olivier reincarnated.
Well, he's an actor.
A failed actor. What else would he be doing in this place?
Well, did you run a background check?
PJ, he's run this drama group for the last 2-3 years. Puts on a couple of annual productions, keeps 20 cons out of trouble, and management are happy with him. What possible motive could he have for topping his own lighting guy?
Well, that's what I'd like to know. And don't tell me it's not my case.
It's not your case.
Indulge me, mate. I've got one of my gut feelings about this.
Oh, well, one of your gut feelings. What can I say? Now, this is strictly on the understanding that if this famous gut feeling develops legs, you'll keep me informed.
You know me.
Yeah, that's what worries me.
I'm devastated. I'm absolutely devastated.
We understand how you must feel.
I unwittingly contributed to a man's death. And you know the great irony?
No, what?
The spot was probably perfectly fine where it was.
How so?
The damned lighting. I can't even remember now why we moved it. I keep thinking if only we hadn't.
Had you known Kevin Leslie long?
Oh, a couple of years. He wasn't in the group at first. It wasn't really his scene. We co-opted him because we needed someone good with their hands. If we hadn't.
Did you always use metal ladders?
We use whatever we can find. I didn't realise the dangers. I leave it up to the techs.
Do you have any idea who might have tampered with the light's wiring?
I'm afraid... none at all.
Okay, well, unless Senior Detective Hasham has any further questions?
Oh, no, that's fine.
Thank you. If there's anything I can do to find the person responsible.
Then didn't ask him much.
No.
PJ, she knows you love her.
Huh?
Well, your mum, I mean, I know you don't want to sit there like some sort of vulture, but...
Mate, what are you on about?
Well, I'm just saying I understand.
No. Listen, I was thinking about that bloke's voice.
What about it?
I've heard it before.
I managed to track down his ex-agent. John Bramble only ever had one professional acting job on some cop show in 1984.
So he was a failed actor.
Yeah. John Bramble's only his stage name, though. His real name's John Kerr. No wonder he changed it, eh?
Kerr. K-R-R?
Yeah.
Tristan Kerr's parents were Meredith...
And John Kerr. So John Bramble is actually the father of that kidnapped boy.
You sure it's the same man? It's a pretty common name, PJ.
A different name, same bloke. Now, I should know. I was there in 85 when the statement was taken.
So you reckon he killed Kevin Leslie as revenge for his son?
Well, that's a pretty good motive, wouldn't you say?
Tracks down his son's killer, applies to do community work at the prison using a false name, arranges to commit the perfect murder.
No. Waits 3 years and then arranges to commit the perfect murder.
Come on, it's the connection PJ's been looking for, boss.
Yes, well, it can all go to homicide now, can't it? Have you spoken to Paul Bond yet?
Soon enough.
Sorry, boss. PJ, I just got off the phone to Ben. He needs you at home and he sounded worried. She's on morphine, right?
Right.
Pretty strong dose. Sustained release, and she takes it morning and night.
Huh?
Well, I found her about to take a few more of them in the middle of the day.
Mate. Mum? What's going on?
Patrick.
Ben said he saw you about to take an overdose of morphine.
Your friend Ben is a very nice young man, but he likes to dramatize.
Yeah, I know. He said he saw you with tablets in your hand.
I thought they were aspirin. I didn't have my glasses and the packaging is similar.
Aspirin.
I had a slight headache, but it's gone now, Patrick. I'm okay, really.
Sure?
Positive. But I would feel better if you went to work and stopped fussing.
You're trying to get rid of me now, are you?
You have a job to do. Have you found your murderer yet?
No, not as yet.
Then don't let him get away.
Okay. I love you, Mum.
Oh, here he is, Mr. Gut Feeling himself.
You okay? Just been bringing him up to speed on the real identity of John Bramble.
John Kerr, eh? Congratulations. Hardly solid evidence, but we'll take it from here.
Oh, he's definitely got motive.
Yeah, Mr. Bramble has a bit of explaining to do. Oh, by the way, how's your mum?
She's okay. It's only one problem. It's too simple.
Your mum?
The case. It's too neat. It was like the original kidnapping. It was too neat.
PJ, it's over. You can't make it last forever.
What about him? What about him? Brad Charles.
What about him?
He's got an alibi.
He's the only person who does, and it's very convenient. He just happens to be released from prison a couple of hours before the murder.
So you prefer this Brad Charles bloke for it?
He didn't order Kevin Leslie to
Joe,
touch the lights.
he is hiding something.
Well, he's a career criminal just out of jail. What do you
There's
expect?
something wrong about this.
This would be the famous gut feeling at work.
So you don't mind if I keep looking?
Can I stop you?
Brad Charles was sentenced in February, no, March 1999.
And the drama coach, Bramble?
He started work just before Easter.
Had he been in town long?
First I ever heard of him, he fronted up to volunteer to run the prison drama group. I got the idea he'd only just arrived.
So Bramble arrives in town a couple of weeks after Brad Charles starts his sentence.
Yeah, it's about the strength of it.
Do you notice anything sus about Brad Charles's behaviour?
He's coming back to prison the day after your release count.
There he is.
What do you want?
Heard you paid a visit to St David's Nick this morning.
What's it to you?
Why?
None of your
Why were you
business.
visiting Harley Wilkes?
None of your business, copper. And And if you two don't stop harassing me in public places, I'm going to get my lawyers onto you.
Yeah?
Try me.
Goose.
That went well. What now?
One door closes, you open another.
Very zen.
Now, Harley, you had a visitor earlier today.
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
Don't you get smart with me. Now, Brad Charles came to see you this morning, right? Why?
He was just visiting.
You've known him for 24 hours and he just visits.
He wanted to see if I was okay.
He came to check up on that shonky alibi you gave him, right?
No.
What, he threatened to get the heavies on you?
No, it wasn't like that.
Well, if he didn't threaten you, you can tell me what really happened.
No, it was like I said. Honest.
Why did Brad Charles visit you?
It was a family thing.
A what?
Brad's my uncle.
So, Brad Charles is Harley Wilkes' uncle. What does that give you?
A very shaky alibi. The one person Brad Charles is relying on to back up his story is family.
One more complication, guys.
What?
Well, Harley Wilkes, I've been trying to find out his parents from his birth certificate, and there isn't one. No one's got a birth certificate for Harley Wilkes.
What, his parents failed to register the birth?
He changed his name.
Maybe he's an alien.
Thank you, Parish.
PJ, guess who? Are you coming home for dinner?
All right, you leave that to me, Mum. You go and rest.
It's just a few dishes.
Well, am I helpless? Go on, get out of here.
And I'll dry.
All right. I'm going.
So how you going? I'm doing fine, Ben, and I don't need a lecture because I know what I'm doing.
Oh, you do you?
It's dry.
Do you want to know what actually happened today?
She thought they were aspirin.
You've got no idea, have you? You're believing exactly what you want to believe. After you left, I heard her crying, so I went into her room, and there she was with the morphine in one hand and a glass of water in the other, and she was all set to do it.
Ben, she had a headache?
No way, she was guilty. She looked sort of desperate, and at first, she didn't want to give him up.
No. She wouldn't do that.
If you spent some time with her, you might see past the brave face that she's putting on for your sake.
Look, I know my own mother, right?
Good. I think it's time that you dealt with her, mate. I'll leave you to it.
How you feeling, Mum? Really?
Peachy. Is that the expression?
It'll do. One word.
Not even good morning.
Good morning. Joe?
Can I finish my coffee?
Yeah, get me one. Then I've got something for you to do.
Okay, here it is. Brad Charles has one sister named Lara Wilkes.
Lara Wilkes, so that'd have to be Harley's mum.
Yep. Her occupation is listed as actress. And guess what?
What?
Lara was in the same cop show as John Bramble in 1984.
Right, so Lara Wilkes knows John Bramble.
Mm-hmm.
It all comes back to John Bramble.
Well, shouldn't we just pass all this on to homicide?
Well, they say if you want something done properly.
Look, I've already talked all this through with the big bloke from Homicide.
Well, why don't you indulge us, Mr. Bramble? Or should I say, Mr. Kerr?
Look, I think most people would understand why I changed my name after such a traumatic event.
The kidnap of your son?
I thought I could start a new life, one without tragedy.
Yet you returned to the district where your child's kidnapper was caught.
It's one of the ironies of life.
Was it also one of the ironies of life that you ended up working in the same prison as Kevin Leslie?
It was a huge shock to me, I can tell you. I had no idea he was there.
How did you feel when you first came face to face with him?
Well, of course, one contemplates revenge. But I restrained myself with effort. And the impulse went away.
It just went away?
Kevin Leslie is, in essence, a pathetic creature. He's more worthy of pity than hate.
Did you know an inmate at St David's prison by the name of Brad Charles?
Of course, he was in my group. It was quite a coincidence that we should all end up in the same place.
Do you know a woman by the name of Lara Wilkes?
Who?
Lara Wilkes.
No, I'm sorry, I can't help you.
You acted with her in a television show in 1984.
Well, no wonder I can't remember. Is there anything else? I have another appointment.
No, that's fine. Mr. Jones will see you out. So, Brad Charles is Harley Wilkes' uncle.
And Lara Wilkes must be his mother, except there's no record of her ever having a child.
It's nearly lunchtime.
Look, we know, Tess, and we haven't got time. I mean, you tell Ben, I'll give him a call.
Okay. How's it going?
Don't ask, we're trying to trace Lara Wilkes.
Small problem. Department of Immigration shows she left the country 10 years ago and there's no record of her return.
Oh, they sometimes have a last known address.
All right, here it is. Willumbar, New South Wales.
Tess? Would you mind?
Bye. PJ, that was the local sergeant from Willumbar. Very helpful. He does remember a young single mum named Lara Wilkes who moved into town with her small son Harley. She then hooked up with a recent blow-in whose name was John Bramble, and he seemed to have money.
So what, they shacked up together?
Yeah, until a feature film came to town. She runs off to America with one of the actors, leaving him with the kid. And the cash seemed to go with her because suddenly Bramble couldn't pay his bills.
So why would she dump her own kid?
A photo?
Yes, any photo you have of your son.
Preferably one showing any distinguishing marks.
What on earth for?
We're just following a line of inquiry.
I'll get the photo.
Thanks.
Why didn't you tell her her son might be alive?
And what if we're wrong? Tristan Kerr, aged 2.5. There's the birthmark.
You mind telling me what's going on?
Got it. According to Leap, Harley Wilkes has a distinctive birthmark on the back of his leg. And the birth date's matched too.
So you're saying...
that Tristan Kerr and Harley Wilkes are one and the same.
And Tristan's kidnapped.
It never happened. It was a put-up job by John Bramble so that he could keep his boy and extort $500,000 from his wife.
So where is he?
He's gone.
Oh, bloody lovely.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
Enough, PJ, OK? How about we just take back our case and get on with it?
Look, we've got to find Bramble.
Correction. We have to find Bramble. It doesn't involve you anymore. Look, thanks very much. Goodbye. Come on, Mick.
It is his case.
Homicide will never find him, and Bramble would have gotten away with it again.
Where would he go? You don't think he'd go after Brad Charles, do you? I mean, he's already knocked off one accomplice.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in Brad Charles's shoes right now.
Gonna need a hiding place.
The caravan. I mean, someone's been visiting there recently. Remember the timer?
It's a bit of a long shot, Joe.
It's a good idea. It's worth a try.
Oh, God, Bramble's here.
Son! Listen, mate! I'll get out of town! You want money? I've still got part of my share. Look, you can take it. It's buried here. Take it and get out! It's time to settle accounts, you maggot! Police! Stop the axe!
Don't move!
Right, put the axe down.
Police, put the weapon down
Put it
now!
down now!
Put it down!
And get on the ground.
On the ground, face down!
Now! Now!
the door and come out slowly.
Yeah?
Now. On the ground, face down.
Took your bloody time.
Get down, face down.
Now put your hands behind your back.
I refuse to incriminate myself.
It's a bit late for that, mate. You see, we know about the birthmark. We also know that Harley Wilkes is your son Tristan Kerr, who was kidnapped and murdered in 1985.
We know that he lived with you up until 2 years ago. He arrived at St David's prison the day before Kevin Leslie was murdered.
I had nothing to do with that.
What, the kidnap or the murder?
The murder. Why would I want revenge on Leslie? I knew the kidnap was a fake.
I so you admit that.
Do you admit you conspired with Lara Wilkes and Brad Charles to defraud your wife of $500,000?
Yeah, well, she could afford it.
And you let her think her little boy had been horribly murdered.
But he wasn't. I knew he was in safe hands.
But she didn't know that. And she had to spend the last 16 years of her life thinking her little boy was dead.
It was Brad's idea. He and Lara, they between them, they talked me into it.
You are a weak bastard, you know that.
My idea? No way. I wasn't the one with the hots for Lara.
You were the one who faked the boy's death.
It wasn't hard. See, in those days, bloody Kevin Leslie, he drank like a fish. After he passed out, I just handed the kid over to Lara and, spattered a bit of blood around the scene.
And persuaded Kevin that he'd battered the kid to death in a drunken rage.
Well, he had a nasty temper when he drank, did Kev.
Then what? You told him that you disposed of the body.
What's that? He thought he was in me dead.
Where'd you get the blood?
From the kid, of course.
What'd you get for this?
50-50 split. Well, I earned it. I was the one taking all the risk. What? I wasn't a mad bastard who killed poor old Kevin Leslie.
What mad bastard would that be?
John Bramble, of course.
How do you know?
'Cause he told me he was going to do it. He needed my help again. Keep young Harley out of the way while he did the deed. I never thought he was going to come after me next.
I didn't have any choice. Brad said he'd tell the whole story unless I gave him some more money. I didn't have any. His damned sister saw to that.
And Kevin Leslie? What did he do?
It was Harley's bloody birthmark. Leslie only had to see it under the showers and the whole thing was over. I couldn't take the risk.
John Bramble, you're going to be charged with murder, kidnapping, conspiracy to kidnap, perverting the course of justice, obtaining property by deception, and assault with a weapon.
Hey, Jono. Serves you right, mate.
Don't get too smart, you're next.
For what?
Kidnapping conspiracy for starters.
Come on, mate.
I helped you.
Well, this is getting to be a habit, Hasham.
Anytime, mate. See you soon.
What if I see you first?
PJ, it's a phone for you. It's Meredith Kerr returning your call.
Hello?
Harley, this is your mum.
Dreamed about this moment. I just never thought it would happen. "16 years I've wanted to hug my son.
Unreal.
Hey, Mum. I need to talk.
Of course.
No, I mean, I really need to talk to you.
I've told you. I'm fine.
I'm a big boy now, Mum. You don't have to shelter me. I mean, whatever you're feeling, you can tell me. I can take it.
Really, I am. I'm fine. I'm just a little worried about you.
I'm frightened, Mum. And, I don't want you to die.
Of course you don't, Patrick. Of course you don't.
What are you doing here?
I work here, remember?
We thought you were taking time off to look after your mother.
No need. I mean, she's coping really well.
PJ, you've got plenty of time, why don't you use it?
Boss, there is no need. She's coping well. Besides, I've got to work on the Simmons brief.
No, you don't. I finished it off and submitted it late yesterday afternoon.
Thanks.
We thought you were taking leave.
Well, I'm not.
Hey, come on. None of that. You're supposed to be resting.
I'm incurable, Ben. Not helpless. Not yet, anyway.
Yes, I know that, but the doctor said that
The
you're just supposed
doctor
to be
said
taking
I
it
should
easy.
maintain my quality of life as long as I am able, and I'm still able.
Okay, point taken. Would you consider having a small break? I happen to have made some herbal tea, if you'd like.
What? For my health? Heavens, no. I want coffee.
Hey guys, you in the news?
What news?
Pete.
Don't you start. What news?
There's been a death in St David's prison.
Well, not just any old death, Kevin Leslie.
Kevin Leslie? Yeah, he was a child kidnapping case years ago. He spent months on the front pages.
Well, a kid disappeared, he got life.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on the news when I was a kid. I used to have nightmares about that guy.
How'd he die?
Well, I didn't say, but homicide's on the way.
Yeah?
What are you doing?
Can I have a sticky?
Joe?
No,
Make up your mind.
Joe.
Come on, Joe.
I know what you're going to say, okay?
Do you?
It's a classic case of denial. Once I get him to admit that, he'll be fine.
I am not in denial.
Yes, you are. You're in denial about being in denial.
Joanna?
Yeah?
Shut up. Hey, Cuddles.
G'day, PJ. You join the homies now?
No, not quite, mate. This is Joe Parrish.
G'day, good to meet you, Joe. Well, come in.
Cuddles?
Andy Cudmore. Stay in the background.
Hey, Paul. Oh, don't tell me. You thought you could help.
Maybe. I worked on the original kidnapping case.
You're older than you look.
No, I was just a young Connie, but I was there when the arrest was made.
All right. You recognise him?
Well, he's aged.
Yeah, 15 years in jail will do that for you.
How'd he die?
Electrocuted. In charge of the lights, would you believe, for this drama group. That one there. Okay, lower them in, thanks. Nice and gentle. He's having a technical go-through.
Rehearsal.
A technical rehearsal. Director, guy over there with the beard, he asks him to adjust the spot, whatever that is. Climbs up the ladder.
The metal ladder.
Sorry?
Well, it should have been wood or fiberglass. Electricians aren't supposed to use metal ladders.
He climbs up, grabs the light, falls down dead.
So, it was an accident?
Chances are it was an accident, but you know how prisons are. We'll have forensic look at the light anyway.
All right. I'd like to know about the results.
Yeah, we'll keep you informed.
Beach, look at this. The wires have been crossed. The live's on the earth wire, and the earth wire's been disconnected.
Oh, you're a regular little expert, aren't you?
Good riddance, baby. GRB. That's what Dad taught me. Green, red, black. That's how it's supposed to go, and it doesn't.
But what do you mean? You're saying that the light has been sabotaged?
It doesn't look like this death was an accident. I mean, what's his problem? We're only trying to help.
Well, homicide doesn't always appreciate help. And you do have a big mouth.
Oh, me?
Are they St David's pies?
Oh, yeah, best pies this side of Horsham.
PJ, Ben called for you.
What did he say? Is everything all right?
Yeah, nothing. It was just, he just wanted to know whether you were coming home for lunch.
Well, it would appear not.
Bloody Ben, I wish he'd mind his own business.
Someone's not happy.
Transferred anger.
So he's moved on from denial.